Good day everyone, and welcome to episode 45 in the Great Soviet Experiment. We are starting off our view today down at Odessa, where to the south and to the, west of Odessa, the Axis powers are pushing at us, using, from the look of it, the Vichy French. Yep, Vichy French. Well, there you go. They're even throwing their erstwhile allies into the fight, and also we have nuclear bombs. We are so lucky. I don't know if I want to use them, and we have, as you can tell, no research going on because, well, we've pretty much researched everything. But the big thing we were doing is we had put Army Chekhov over here, reconfigured Army Chekhov with two new divisions that we had designed, and now Army Chekhov is going to go and join the line in a minute, because I think, we've still got a couple of units that haven't come up to the training level that we want yet. But I do want to talk about a couple of other things while we're starting off this episode. And one is from a comment by I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that correctly, it's ETHS, who made another comment again on the supply situation in respect of the fact that in our rear areas, if we have a look here, we've got so many units in the rear areas that he suspects, and I think he might be right, that they are actually soaking up our supply into our forward areas. So we're going to be having a look at that today. And also, while we're on the topic of comments, I did get a comment from Prankman XD in relationship to field hospitals. Actually, just let me go out of that view. And his particular comment on the field hospital was that, given we're the Soviet Union and given the manpower that we have, there really isn't all that much need for the field hospital. Now, if you look here, you'll see that the experience loss when you use a field hospital is minus 40%. That is actually the primary reason why I put them in, to stop the experience loss. However, if you've been watching the episodes since the beginning, when the units are in the front and they've been taking enough casualties, they really go down to recruit level fairly quickly once they've been in combat. I still have to pull them off the line and do training on them again to get them up to speed. And having said that too, I also think they have been able, those have kept us at the 12 million manpower pool that we've got. But I think in a lot of our infantry units, we could now pull them out and replace them with another unit. And the units I've been thinking about replacing them with, at least in our standard infantry line that we've had on the front for so long, I'm thinking of replacing them with either the artillery, the rocket artillery, because we get a breakthroughs and a soft attack bonus, and recon. And my preference, I think, at this stage would be for the soft attack and defence bonuses there. Although there the defensive bonus is 17, the breakthrough is 2.5. Here the defence is 7 and the breakthrough is 6. And I'm liking the idea of the breakthrough because we are moving to an offensive stance on our line. So I'm going to do that. But before I do that, I'm going to create a variant because I don't want to go through the whole thing of changing 10 million divisions on the front line. Because that'll just, and then of course I'll have to take them off, and when I start repositioning them to different types of unit, we go through the whole thing again, which I don't really want to. So we're going to change the frontline division, the standard frontline division, 26, to the C.2 with a new symbol, and a new symbol which looks remarkably like, so we've got him and we've got him. I don't think we have this symbol, so that will be our standard infantry unit, type 2, and we won't have you in there. We'll have support rocket artillery instead. So that's that. So then the next thing we want to do is go through our units that are currently in training and change them over to the new look divisions, which are all at the end of the line here. Infantry equipment, tons. Towed artillery, tons. Towed rocket artillery, tons. And we get back a fair bit, so that's pretty good. And of course, look at that, straight down. Well, we're going to be in training for a bit longer, aren't we? Let's go up to 2. Because we won't want to be there any longer than we have to be, because we need to get these guys in the line.
Nice. Готов.
Yep.
Жду приказа.
Moving along.
Жду приказа. Готов?
This is going to extend it a bit.
Готов? Внимание! Слушаю.
Right. So, I think I have acted reasonably on the comments that have been made, and hopefully that's going to get our game going a bit more. Now, I'm not going to do all the divisions at this stage, but I think we'll start with, that's going to turn out to be a third of our entire army, at least in the infantry section, that will now not have field hospitals. So we will be able to judge the impact of that reasonably well. Now, the plan now is they are already up to speed.
Так точно.
Not so there, but almost.
Внимание.
Not there, and not there.
Готов
What we
выдвигаться.
could do while we're waiting for him is work out where we're going to place him. Now, at this stage, we just want them on the line. And we're going to use the 2 army groups to hold this line. And I'm looking up here and thinking that we could take a fairly substantial whack out of these guys as well and extend the line across into there, which I think could be to our advantageousnum. Advantageousnum is where we want to be, sort of.
Внимание.
We've got a minute or 2 up our sleeve.
Выходим.
A
Выходим.
minute or 2. Let's put a bit of pressure on that here, shall we? Looking for the weak spots once again.
Верно. Выходим.
That could work.
Брось.
Nothing like a bit of pressure. And of course this is nothing like a bit of pressure.
Слушаю. Брось.
Yeah, look at that. That's going reasonably well, actually, surprisingly. And of course, look at that. No supply anywhere. Well, that's just exciting. Now, in terms of what we're building, I think it would behoove us to just keep a little bit of infrastructure at the top of our to-do list. I really do. And in fact, I really do think it's that important. Let's just put it up there. Get that going. Now we've got some pressure going on there. We could add to that pressure quite nicely by bringing you in.
Готов.
And Timoshenko got wounded. That's unpleasant. Or unfortunate, depending on how you look at it. Let's do that, shall we? Yeah, that's a good idea.
Royce.
Just throw you in there for good measure. And I think possibly even you. And we might want to tie you down while we do that as well. Well, that was an interesting move. Okay.
Слушаю. Мирно.
And we'll add some support there. Very good. And we'll attack with you. And we'll add some support from there. Actually, we might just have made some progress there. I like it. We did well for a group of young people. I think we might as well just go over there and see if we can cut you off. I have no problem destroying German divisions.
Royce.
Okay. Meanwhile, that's what we're going to be doing from here on in, is just continual pressure on the line, looking for the breakthroughs to make the Germans pull out. Actually, we can. Now, I'm going to stop you from training because you are trained and you can get up to strength.
Royce.
You are trained, so you can come back up to organisational strength. And there we have the start of what might be regarded as a good encirclement. Very nice.
Готов.
Let's just throw you in there as well. Oh, no, go there. And then go there. Because we want to cut these guys off. But this will be good if we can pull this one off. Actually, I wonder if we shouldn't go up here and start this now. Justify war goal. Conquer 1 to 5 states. Or we could take the claim state, which is Harju. But of course then to get the Harju we have to go through Tartu. So I'm going to go sure. We have 50 days, which is good. So now what I'm going to do, you're up to regular. You are, you know what, there's one more unit. Yep. You know what, I'm going to live with you being it recruit. Was it recruit? Trained, but not regular. Okay. Let us do this and turn all of you off. Remove the current setting. Come over here Now, we're going to give you the front from there all the way down to there. The Army Group Chekhov is now on the southern front. And as soon as Army Group Chekhov gets into position, we will leave Army Group South. Yep. No. Army Group South, which we will then rename. Or will we? Or we could just leave it that way, actually. I don't see any point in keep changing groups' names. Ooh. The Germans did something interesting there, which I did not appreciate. So Army Group North, right? Army Group North. We need to work on your front line. Where's your front line? Divisions assignment mode. Offensive line, no. Edit mode, thank you. Right click and drag. There you go, that's what we want. Yep, that's better. I still think we need to get in there.
Готов подвигаться.
Well, we may be able to cause them a little inconvenience.
До приказа. Так точно.
And maybe even Kirov could come into use here by stopping him training and bringing him all the way across here and then into there. That could work out very well. Now, how is our assignment to the line going down here? You would have to say it doesn't look like it's going particularly quickly, does it? Oh gosh, again with the no supply. Right, well, we probably need to look at building more supply. Oh, well, that's why. That's a dead giveaway, that one. And Rostov's not even 6. Yeah. So we need at least 6s. Right. There you go. Well, we've got a few builds going on there. So what I think we could do to make this even more interesting than it already is do stuff like this. And that could be our group now. A civilian, a military, and an infrastructure. Or 2. Yep. So we'll just keep this going for a sec. That's 2. 2. 2, 2, 2. That doesn't really count, but we're going to do that anyway. Actually, we'll put this guy, yeah, we'll put this guy to the end, I think. We need, what, oh, press Estonia. No, we'll pay the iron price, forget it. Okay, I think that's enough builds for a little minute. That will keep the line going. Right, now I'm going to take Army Group South out of there by removing all your orders and placing you right behind Moscow, which is dangerous because you'll be a long way from the front. But it's going to look at Ed's comment about making sure we've not got units in the rear echelon taking up our supply, which is destined for the front. So we're going to spread them out and send them back there for training, and we're not going to have them garrison the coastline. Well, did it matter? I don't think so, but that's what we're going to do. And they're pulling out even as we speak. And of course the Germans are responding to that initiative by attacking us. And where are all our troops? Well, I'll tell you what. Come back here for a minute and then you can go home. We need to reinforce this line for a minute. Okay. Now, where are our new units? They are not fully. Oh well, that was a blunder in 2/3, wasn't it? Yes, that may have been a blunder in 2/3. We don't have the units in the front line, and we're not getting there fast enough. I withdrew Army Group South too early. Oh yeah, I sure did. Look at that. Okay, well, we got a small problem. I'm going to have to send Army Group back in there. Yep, there you go. Everything is forgiven, boys. Go back. Because that's a disaster just waiting to happen. Yeah, look at these guys. They're still stuck here with no supply. Alright, how are we doing in here? Medium tanks. Self-propelled guns. Modern tanks. Super heavy tanks, we're getting them. Fighters, not too bad. Jet fighters, okay. Right, let's have a look at the air situation in Moscow. We have got some units trained up, but they are not the fighter units. That is sad. However, now we're going to start assigning them. Okay, keep those there. Go to there. And click on there. And the first group, of close air support. Finish the pilot exercises. Assign to you. Second group, finish pilot training exercises. Assign to you. Third group, finish pilot training exercises. Assign to you. This group, no, this group, same deal. And last but not least, our armoured unit. You get assigned to there. So our close support is fighting directly combined arms with our ground units. And I think we have, no, we haven't, they broke through. Oh, sorry, they haven't broken through, they've got a salient. That was bad. So they did take advantage of the work that we put into that. That was not at all good. How are we doing over here? Not at all well either, actually, it turns out. Actually, you know what? Why don't you support that attack?
Жду приказа. Жду приказа. Выходим!
Okay, 56.
Выходим!
2.
Готов выдвигаться. Слушаю.
Actually, you know what? We need to tie these guys down in here for a minute.
Слушаю.
Okay.
Готов?
Now, I think... What are you doing there, Alexi? Are you a combined arms expert? Can we add anything to you? It doesn't look like we can, actually. No, it's not giving us any options. Okay, we're going to take you
Мирно!
and see if we can't break through there. Where did our other unit go?
Готов! Я готов! Я готов!
Okay. Now, these guys are still dragging the chain on supply. We really... Oh, excuse me, everyone. We really do need to be moving this along. How are we doing in here? Oh, poor Estonian, poor Estonia, they're posturing. Can't have any of that posturing stuff. Okay,
Я готов.
support the attack.
Готов.
Actually,
Внимание!
that's empty.
Выходим!
I don't see any point in not taking empty territory that the enemy's abandoned.
Так точно! Так точно! Готов! Мирно!
Interesting. Well, we might get a couple of hexes out of that. And down here, oh, look at that, supply is still an issue. Oh, yep, it is. New units into the training brigades, please. Now, we've got these three here. We can turn them over to new units. I don't think we're going to be able to pull those units off the front line, actually. I think we're going to end up having to do a slightly different work with them than we had possibly originally planned. And that is to pull one group off the line and get them up here to Estonia to be ready to deal with Estonia in 49 days, which is just over a month. So we need I would still like to pull that unit off the line. Justification hard due for Soviet Union is finished. Well, we've just run out of time, as it turns out. So down to one, everybody. And here's what we're going to do. We're going to take Army Group Chekhov, and we're going to finish all its orders, and we're going to move it to a new front, which is going to be right there. And any second now, it's going to realign itself to do our orders. You would hope. There you go. Right, so that's it, everyone. That is today in the Soviet Union. Where are you assigned? Yeah, are you? No? Yes. No, yes. Yes, no. Yes. That is today in the Soviet Union. Army Group Chekhov is now heading up to Estonia, and then it will work its way down there. Now, Riga is another justified war goal, which we can take the claim state for, and we will take Kurzeme. That's going to take us 50 days, and we're going to start that right now. So that Army Group Chekhov will now be heading down through Estonia into Latvia and then finally Lithuania, where I'm expecting the Germans to push up and meet us there. So Army Group Chekhov is going to actually have a section of the front all to itself. And who knows where that's going to end up in terms of our supply lines. So thank you all very much for joining me today. I do hope you have enjoyed this episode. We are moving again as the Soviet Union and causing the Germans some difficulty. It would have to be said not a lot, but we are pushing on the line in the north, And of course they pushed back quite strongly in the south and did a horrible thing to us. So much so that Odessa is now threatened, and we're going to have to do something about that. So it's getting more interesting because now we are pushing hard against our German, well, would I call them cousins? I don't think I would. But anyway, as I said, thank you very much for joining me today. I do hope you have enjoyed the episode, and I will look forward to seeing you again at the Gig channel very soon. Until then, stay well everyone, and I'll see you all later. Bye bye.